What's up guys, John here and welcome back to John Moon Studios. In this week's video, I'm going to talk about 3 different minor scales. Let's get right to it. So the first type of minor scale we're going to talk about is the natural minor scale. So we're going to look at it in the scale degree form. So here we have the first scale degree, the second. Here we have the third scale degree, but now the third note is going to be altered. We're going to put a flat on that. Then it's going to be 4, 5, then 6 is also altered, so we put another flat. And then 7 is altered as well, and we're going to put another flat on that. So the natural minor scale has 3 flats included. The third scale degree, the 6th scale degree, and then the 7th scale degree. So now we're going to take a look at the examples, but using scales. So here we have the C major scale, which has no sharps or flats. So we're going to go C, which is 1, D, which is 2, and then 3, which is E. But notice how the 3 gets flattened. So here we have F, which is 4, G, 5, A is flat, and then B is also flat. Now we're going to take a look at another scale. So we have D major. We know that D major has 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. So here we have D, which is the first scale degree, E, which is the second, and then F is actually going to be natural because F is already sharp inside of the key of D major. So it's going to be natural now. Then we have 4, which is G, 5, which is A, and then 6 is going to be B flat. Since B flat isn't an altered note inside of D major, it's going to get the flat sign. And then we go to C, and again here we have the natural sign, which means that the C inside of key of D major is a C sharp. We're going to go ahead and remove that sharp, which is the same thing as adding a flat, and it's going to become natural as well. The second type of minor scale that we have is the harmonic minor scale. So again, we're going to look at the scale degrees up top so we see what notes are going to be altered. So the first scale degree is left alone, the second, then we have the third, which is also flattened, the fourth, the fifth, the 6th is flattened, but then the 7th is actually natural. There's no alterations to the 7th scale degree. So now let's take a look at the examples I have below. I chose 2 new scales to give the example. So we're going to start with G major. So G major has 1 sharp, F sharp. So let's keep that in mind, and now let's go through the process. So here we have G, which is 1, A, which is 2, B, which is 3, but B is now B flat, C is 4, D is 5, E is 6, but now E is flat because the 6 has to be altered, and now the 7th is actually going to stay the same because the 7th is no longer altered. It's natural. So since in the key of G major F is sharp, here we have the F sharp. Going to A major has 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So we're going to start off with A, which is the first scale degree, B, which is the second scale degree, and now we're going to go to C. Since C is sharp in the key of A major, is going to become natural now because of the flat. Now we have D in the 4th scale degree, E in the 5th scale degree, F is sharp inside of the key of A major, so it's going to become natural because of the flat. And then we have G sharp because the 7th is natural, so there's no alterations to that note. And G sharp is a part of the key of A major. So the last type of minor scale that we're going to talk about is the melodic minor scale. So I'm going to break this down because there are 2 sides to this. So we have an ascending pattern and we have a descending pattern, which change as the scale goes on. So we're going to look at the ascending pattern first. So we're going to go with the first scale degree, the second scale degree, the third is going to be flattened. We have the 4th scale degree, the 5th scale degree, the 6th is actually natural, and then the 7th is natural. So those notes aren't altered from the major scale. Now descending, the melodic minor scale actually switches right back to the natural minor scale. So we're going to have the flattened 7th, the flattened 6th, 5, 4, flattened 3rd, 2, and then 1. So now let's take a look at the examples I have below. I'm using the key of B major to kind of switch it up so you could see different key signatures. So here in the key of B major, we have 5 sharps. We have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp. So we're going to start with B, which is the first scale degree. C sharp is the second scale degree, and again, it's not altered, but in the key of B major, C is sharp. D is going to be altered. Now, I actually wrote it in red so you could see the correlation, ascending and descending. So D is sharp in the key of B major, but since it is flat in the formula here, so we need to make it a natural. We're going to go to E, which is the fourth scale degree. F sharp, again, is a part of the key of B major, but the 5 doesn't have any notes altered, so it's going to stay as F sharp. And now we have G sharp. Again, the 6 is natural, so G sharp is a part of the key of B major. And then we have A sharp, which is also a part of the key of B major. And again, the 7th is natural. Now, descending, we have the 7th of the scale is now going to be flattened. So now instead of A sharp, we're going to have an A natural. Same thing goes for G. So G is going to be G natural because now descending, the 6 is flattened. So here we have G natural. Again, F sharp is 5, so we leave that untouched. Then we have E, which is the 4th. And then we have D, which becomes natural, kind of like how we were in the ascending pattern. So D is natural. Then we have C sharp, which is going to be 2, untouched. And then we go right back down to B. Now let's take a look at another example with F major. So the key of F major has 1 flat, which is B flat. But now we're going to go ahead and do the alterations. So we start with F, which is the first scale degree. Then we go to G, which is the second scale degree. A is not flat in the key of F major, but it is flat because the third scale degree becomes flat. So we have an A flat. B flat is already part of the key of F major, and the 4 is untouched, so we leave it just as is. Now we have 5, which is C. Now we have 6, which is natural, so we leave it untouched. And then we have E, which is also natural. So let me just go ahead and write it in so we have some kind of sequence with the formula up here. Now we're going to move to the descending pattern. So now the 7th is going to become flattened, which is why we have an E flat here. Again, it's taking, the descending pattern is taking the place of the natural minor scale. Now we have D, which is the 6th. Again, it's flattened. C, 5. B flat is already a part of the key of F major, so it's the 4th scale degree and it's untouched. The 3rd is flattened, so we have an A flat. Then we go to the 2nd, which is G, and then we have F again, which is the 1st scale degree. Alright, so let's see how well you remember these different kinds of scales. I wrote out 3 examples on the board, and you have to figure out which kind of scale it is. Go! If your answers matched mine, then you're on the right page. If you found the information of this video helpful, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. If you have any confusions throughout this video, please drop your comments down below and I will get to them as soon as possible. Don't forget to share with your musician friends. I will see you all soon.